Testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Okay, I think it's working. All right. Welcome to the Likely Not Dead podcast. The podcast that discusses everything from the paranormal to true crime, all the way to conspiracy theories, myths, and of course, urban legends. I'm your host, Quasi, and I'm here to give it up to the bitches, the true facts. Woo, Quasi! You're probably wondering why I'm the only one who gets the applause. I don't know either. So we're going to get into it. So today I'm joined with my two bitches, which is Toby and Lenny.
Yeah, how's it going? And you only get the applause because everybody knows you're going to be the fan favorite.
That is facts.
Yay, fan favorite!
Woo, fan favorite!
Fan favorite!
Yeah! They're gonna stand you. Stand Quasi, the hunchback of Notre Dame.
We stand Quasi.
We stand her.
If I had a praise kink right now, I'd be so turned on, but I don't. So, because I can't take compliments. So
You know what? Fuck that bitch.
On that note.
All right. Let me go back. So basically, yeah, I'm here with Toby and Lenny, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go about what's worse than real life. Also, before I get into it, before I forget who I am, please, now before we get started, as always, make sure to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit at Likely Not Dead. Also, check out our website at www.likelynotdeadpodcast.com.
And remember, on our website, you can submit your own experiences and stories that you want us to read on the podcast.
Yes, and maybe me, the rat queen, will read your story.
Also, a couple cents a day can save us from starving.
For just 15 cents a day, you can help feed this poor podcast.
We all have jobs, but
And we're still all poor and in debt.
that's because they don't raise the minimum wage in Texas, so we gotta live with it.
Literally 1950s, bro.
Facts. All right, so we're getting off topic. Okay, so now that you know, follow us on our socials, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit. I'm saying it again in case you forget. Check us out at our website, www.likelynotdeadpodcast. Send a DM to me, to Toby, to Lenny, whoever. If you want to cuss us out, do it. Try me. I'm ready. I'm ready for a fight. And that's how we're going to get into this. So, guys, have you ever heard of, what's worse than death? Children. So, have you ever heard of black-eyed children?
The only time I heard of black-eyed children is from you, Quasi. That's the only time I ever heard from them. I've never heard from them in my whole life. You're the only one that I've heard about stories and your experiences with them. Other than that, nope.
I actually asked a friend before we recorded this if I could share their story. They didn't get back to me, but I just heard and they said go for it. So stay tuned to the end where I share my friend's personal experience with these bitches.
Yes. Obviously, I also have an experience with them kids. Them kids scary. And we're going to get into it later on. But for the people who don't know, who the hell are these black-eyed children? What the fuck do you mean? Well, let me get into it. So, black-eyed children, if you go to www.knowyourmeme.com, you would know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, black-eyed children are basically black-eyed kids. An American legend. It mostly came out here, but I think it's more further on. But for the sake of today, it's an American legend of paranormal creatures. So these aren't kids. These are they're saying they're demons. They resemble kids around the age of 6 to 16 years old. For the most part, their characteristics are pale skin and obviously black fucking eyes. And not just the color of their eyes. I mean the whole thing. You know, when people see Supernatural, you see the demon with the black eyes. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So basically, most of the time, people that see these kids, they're sometimes they're hitchhiking or they're begging for something. And for the most part, they're found on your porch trying to get something from you. So basically how this legend came to be, it came to an existence in the 1980s, but it was mostly reported in January 16, 1998 by a writer and a reporter in the Ambline News. All right, his name is Brian Bethel. Hopefully I said his name right. Who did a really long ghost story about these black-eyed children that came to people's houses and was trying to force himself into his car, asking him when he was in a movie theater. So it was really weird. So some kids be like, let me inside your car. And he was like, yeah, no. And somehow he pushed himself away from there and he lived to live the tale. But obviously no one believed him. But I say that them kids real. Them kids a demon. And I'm going to get a little bit into it. So there's a YouTuber, it's kind of weird, who actually has a sound wave that he played. Why? He's psycho. But he played an audio frequency that allegedly, I'm going to say it in here, that makes them come to your house. I've showed this video to Lenny before. She was scared the fuck out. She didn't want to hear the audio, but they had to play it. And after like around, I'm going to say a week, a kid legit was in his front step at 3 a.m, stayed there for an hour, and they just stood there. And then they disappeared. And to make it worse, the guy lived in the middle of the forest. And he lives by himself. And he has a dirt road. And then the dirt road takes around 10 to 15 minutes to reach the main road before he reaches civilization. So from this story, there's a lot of different places here in the United States that people have seen black-eyed children. There's a lot of YouTubers that are claim to see them. It came out on the news one time that they saw black-eyed children behind a news reporter and no one noticed. Look it up. That shit's fucking creepy. But anyway, so I'm just going to get into my experience with the black-eyed children. Any commentaries are encouraged by my two bitches because they're probably going to ask me questions.
Dead ass.
All right, so let me set you back in time. It's not 2022 anymore, bitches. We're back in around 2014, 2015. I am a baby.
You are in high school.
You literally just graduated, bitch.
Oh, wait. My bad. I did the wrong timeline. I'm in... Wait. I'm trying to count back. Give me a second.
Let's get back in that time machine.
Let me get back in the time machine.
Did you forget how old we are?
Yeah, I forgot how old I was. My bad. I'm not all there. All right. So let me hit it.
Harder, daddy.
Papa. Okay. All right. I'm going to say around 2012. Holy shit. That's fucking long.
It's around middle school years?
No, 2012. You're in high school.
Freshman, no?
Sophomore.
Yeah, so back to this. Back in 2012, I, Quasi, had a boyfriend.
Waste of time.
Pure trash.
Hot garbage.
Hot from where?
I said garbage, did I not?
But hot from where?
From space.
Hell no.
All right, we get it. Waste of time.
And a tool.
All right. Got him. Anyway, so Quasi had a boyfriend. It was a Friday night. Friday evening. It was after 6. I came back from school. He was texting me. We were talking. My parents decided to leave me alone in the house. They went to go get. They went to a grocery run, and they basically told me, "Oh well, you'll be fine. You're old enough to be by yourself." My little sister wasn't home. She was somewhere else. My older sister was in college. So obviously, oh shit, Quasi was by herself. I catch myself all the time.
You dead naming yourself.
I'm so used to my own name, bitch. Sorry, I had a burp. Anyway, so I'm gonna say maybe 10 or 15 minutes passed by. I don't have a gate during this time in my house. So anyone could fucking walk in and do whatever they fucking want with me. But the door was locked and I had a metal door. So that metal door was locked. Here's a little side note. That door, I could have opened it from my side, but the doorknob was broken. So obviously I couldn't even turn it. So even if I could, I can't even open the door. You could only open it from the outside. So I was just laying in my room. I was chilling. I was texting the rat, the boyfriend at the time. I was just telling him, I'm by myself. And he was like, damn, can I come over? And I was like, yeah, no. My parents are coming back. So unless I know you that quick, but I don't want to waste that much time. So halfway through, I heard a knock. I don't have a doorbell because my doorbell got broken. So someone knocked on my door, which is really weird. We don't have salespeople that come through my neighborhood because there's loose dogs everywhere. So who's the fuck's gonna be walking them streets? But sometimes the people from the Bible people be coming. So I thought it was them, but they don't come after like 6. So my dumbass looked through the window and I saw a person. They were like maybe 10, 12. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Why is there a fucking kid? Wrong house, bitch, move. So I ignored it. I'm just like, I ain't gonna deal with that. But then they started to knock again, but really like persistent. And I was like, fuck, what the fuck? And then I was thinking, what if they're being like captured? What if someone's trying to kill them and like this is their only salvation, you know? So I'm like, maybe I'm the God.
You've seen that Dr. Seuss movie where they're trying to save trees and there's this little dog saying, let it die, let it die, let it die.
The Lorax?
Yeah, that one. That's the one. So Quasi was all inside. Let it die. Let it die. Let it shrivel up and die.
Calvinson. I had a soul back then. Well, whatever. I made myself have one for a minute. I had a conscience for a second. So I was like, let me go check it out. Let me go check it out. So I went to check. I opened the door. Obviously, someone all in black. First thought, emo. So an emo came. They found out I was emo, and they want to talk about MCR, and I'm ready for it. But they were looking down, which was weird. And I told them, "Hello, how may I help you?" And it was a girl, and she goes, "Hi," and I was like, "Hi." And I was like, "Do you need anything?" She's like, "I'm selling some magazines." And I'm like, bitch, you did not come to my house to sell me magazines. And I told her, oh sorry, I don't have money. And then she's like, well, I'm also kind of lost. And I'm like, what? Okay. I'm like, do you need me to call your mom? Like, what's up? And she just stayed quiet, which was really weird. I was like, okay. My boyfriend, a clingy son of a bitch, kept on texting me while I wasn't answering. But I had more important things to do. So I didn't answer. And I was like, well, where do you live? Which is the worst mistake on her because honestly, I don't even know where I lived back in the day. Afterwards, she got really persistent. She was just like, I need to use your phone. And I was just like, my phone? She's like, I'm like, I could call and I could put you on speaker because I can't open this like metal door. And she's like, I need you to lend me your phone. And I was like, I got that, but just give me the number and I'll call for you. And then she hit like the metal door and I got scared. And I was like, what the fuck? And she goes, let me inside. And I was like, what? And she's like, let me inside. And I was like, no. And I was like, weird ass bitch. I was ready to leave. Like, I'm like, let this bitch die.
My mom said no.
Yes, my mom said, no, you can't come inside. I can't talk to strangers. Fuck you being a girl. And finally, I guess she realized that this bitch was about to leave. Like, I was a bounce. Like, bitch, stay outside. I don't give a fuck. She finally looked up. And that's when I saw her face. It still gives me chills. I saw her face. And I just saw black eyes. Albino motherfucker. Even whiter than an albino, bitch. I've never seen a white person so white in my life. And she just looked at me. She's like, let me inside your house. I swear to God, I saw my whole body was like shaking of fear, and I was like, "What the fuck?" But something in my head, like my hand started moving, and I was trying to open the fucking door, like I was about to let this bitch in. But then, what caught me was that my boyfriend called. I guess me ignoring his ass, he called me, and I had like this long ass ringtone. It was fucking Green Day, this basket case. And I just heard, "Did you have that time?" And I was like, and I like zapped out of whatever fucking trance I was in, and I answered the phone. I'm like, "Hello," and I fucking closed the door. I was like, I ain't fucking with that. And he was like, "Why didn't you?" Like, he was getting mad at me. I didn't give a fuck. But I told him, "Oh my God, I think there's someone in my house." Like, I went crazy, right? I told him, like, there's a girl. She had black eyes. And he's like, "What the fuck are you on crack, bitch?" And I got scared. So I ran to my room. I thought I was safe because honestly, the door is locked. I checked my back door because I have a back door. That shit was locked. I was like, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Bitch. When I tell you, I ran to my room is near the back of the house. I laid on my bed and I was like, finally. I don't know what the fuck that was. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that was. And I was like calling I told my boyfriend, like, I gotta hang up on you because I want to call my mama. I'm scared. And then he's like, wait, don't hang up on me. The moment I was about to hang up, I heard someone bang on my window. They were like, and I was like, huh. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, and they said my real name. They're like, Quasi, let me inside. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? And I was like, no, bitch, I ain't fucking with that. And I ran, bitch. I ran to my parents' room, even though it was like across the fucking room, bitch. Like, I just ran for it. I went under the fucking bed. And I was like, no. I told my boyfriend, did you hear that shit? And he's like, I heard that shit. I was like, holy fuck. And then he's like, call the police. I'm like, oh, bitch, what the fuck did I tell him? There's a 12-year-old. She's screaming at me. Like, what the fuck? They're not gonna believe me. Ain't no cop gonna believe me. So I hung up on his ass. And I called my mama. I told my mom, are you coming? And she's like, "Pa, ¿qué pasa, mija?" Like, my mom, like, went crazy. She's like, what is wrong with you? I told her, like, I'm like, there's someone here. I heard my dad in the back, we're coming. We're down the street. Cálmate. Like, bitches were screaming at me, and I was screaming at them, and then I was crying. It was a whole fucking deal. And I heard, quiet, let me inside. And like, what the fuck is that? Like, bitch, this motherfucker moved to my parents' room. And I just heard it banging on the fucking... I didn't check, bitch. I stayed under that bed. I don't give a fuck. There was dust. I have allergies. I was sneezing a storm. And then I heard the front door open. Bro, I swear to you, I almost pissed myself. Because I was like, that bitch opened the door. But then I heard the only reason I heard my mom, Mija. And I just ran. I was like, mommy. And I literally hugged her. I was like, mommy. And then my dad was outside, like, checking. He's like, there's no one here. Yeah, what happened? And I'm like, there was a girl. Yeah, no, mom, it's a girl. And I was just like, you don't understand. They had black eyes. And they're like, I ain't not. Oh shit, I said my real name. They're like, Quasi. My bad. Sorry, I had to do it. I can't forget.
Tú sola, güey, te chingaste. Tú solita.
It's because I'm used to my mama. She talks to me like that. Anyway, so they basically told me that it was my imagination again. I swear I'm being gaslighted by my own parents. They're like, it's okay. It's because you see so many scary movies. It probably was a kid. It was probably a real kid. But their eyes weren't black. There's no such thing as black-eyed children. And I was like, okay, I guess. And that was before I knew what black-eyed children were. I found out because I Googled it later on, and I saw all the Reddit, like, people talking about it, saw YouTubers talking about it, and I was like, that's the motherfucker. The reason, I bet you're wondering, is like, why were you going to open the door? So they say, allegedly, that black-eyed children have this, like, power in which they could control your mind, where they could make you do what they want the moment they raise their voice at you. That's why they say every time you see a black-eyed children, you should book it. But for the most part, the people who, like, do the experience, they're almost, like, captured. We don't know what happens. I don't know what happens if you let them in. I don't even want to fucking find out. But obviously the people who let them in, they didn't live to tell, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was my experience with black-eyed children. Toby, I know you have one with your friend. Let's hear about it. I want to know what the fuck up.
Yeah, so a friend of mine told me about this, and then I remember that you were going to talk about this. So then I wanted to ask them about it, and they gave me the green light to go. Obviously, I'm going to use they, them pronouns for them to keep their private life private. So this is a friend that actually lived up north before. They live in, I believe, the East Coast now. So when they lived where this happened, it was a lot of woods. They were visiting relatives in their log cabin. So they were there, and this cabin is like out. It takes like a good half an hour to reach like a city from them. It's more of like an old school cabin that hasn't been like refurbished with electricity. It has plumbing, just no light or electricity running through it. So they said that they were at home in the cabin. They had a little hole to see through the door. Yeah, the peephole. Then it was like late, around 10 or 9, and it's dark as fuck there. When they heard knocking, and they're like, the only people who know here are the Airbnb people who rented it, the to them, and his relatives. So like, why the fuck would they knock? They have the key to get in, and he was in the room that he was sharing with, I think, his cousins or something. So he went and he saw through the hole, and it was a child, like under the age of 10. First of all, there's no other cabins nearby. They're in the middle of the fucking woods, 30 minutes from a city. Where the fuck is this child gonna come from? So the same thing with you. They were like, instead of saying they're lost, they need help. And one, it's very plausible. You know, a little child could get lost. They're 30 minutes from town, and the closest house is about 3 miles away. Unless the kid like got kidnapped and was running. So like a lot of things went through their heads, and they're like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why the hell are you here? It's like, do you need help? I can call someone to pick you up. So, and this was through the door. You didn't actually open it. So they, so the kid said, I need you to open the door and let me in. I need help. So all of this, and they had their phone on them, but there's no service. So he was like, I can't. The only number I can call is 911 because that's the only number that'll work, even without any service. So they were kept talking. The kid started getting louder and louder and started banging on the door, and it wasn't like a light little kid banging. It was like a grown ass man trying to like take down the door. So he noticed that the kid's voice started getting louder and deeper and more harsher, to where he heard, when he started banging loud, he like jumped back and he saw that his hand was already reaching for the doorknob to open it, like what happened to you. So he told me that once that happened, he like stepped away and like went to the restroom, I believe, was in the middle. So there was no doors, no windows that could lead in there. So he went in there and locked it until his relatives came back to the house. So then he told them, like, did you see anybody out there? They're like, no, why? What happened? So he ended up telling them what was going on. And then I believe it was his uncle who said, I know what you're talking about. It's reported a lot around here that there are kids around that come at night saying that they're lost. But I believe they said that one person that had happened to opened it, and he had just like disappeared. Like they never found him or his body. Everything, like there was no forced entry. There was no shattered glass, nothing that like a break-in or kidnapping. He had just like vanished. So it's crazy to think that this happens in multiple places around the US, probably around the world.
Okay, but did your friend like see their face? Like that's the thing.
Yeah, they said that when they looked through the peephole, they saw the child, and his face, because there was no light out there, so they just saw like his face like shadowed. But as the kid like was getting aggressive, the banging started. So before he ran, he looked once again to make sure it was a fucking little kid. Cause what little like child that's under the years of 10 is banging on the door? Sounded like a full grown man like bashing the door trying to get in. So he said like he took one more peep. Cause when I got he when his parents got home, he went back to check. He went outside with them to check. There was nothing there. But later on during the night, after it had passed, and he se calmó el güey, he couldn't sleep because he was still like shooken up. So he was staying up late and he was walking around. So I don't know where he got the feeling to check the door to make sure it's locked. So he went and locked it, and he looked at the peephole and he saw the same little kid in the distance, but this time he saw a little more clear because he was standing in the moonlight, and he saw that his face had dark, sunken black eyes.
So you're telling me this motherfucker came back for round two? This motherfucker came back for round fucking two.
He went back for round two. Like the moment he saw that, he was like, "Hell nah!" and wanted to wake up his relatives and told them there's a kid outside with black eyes. So the uncle went. The kid was gone. He decided to make the following day in the morning to go to the police station and make a report. Because what if it was like a missing kid, just to be on the safe side? But there was no reports of missing children, no kidnapping, no Amber Alerts, nada. Like no one was missing.
I think that's what's scary about the black-eyed children, is that no one lives to tell the tale unless you don't get caught, right? The way that they do that, which is, it's kind of crazy, because when I experienced the black-eyed children, I fucking drowned that shit. I was like, I ain't gonna remember that shit. Nah, man. My boyfriend asked me the next day. He's like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, let me fucking tell you, it was all an elaborate dream. Everything that you heard on the phone, me crying, never happened. Me saying there's a kid in my house, never happened. Because ignorance is bliss, bitches.
So did you just gaslight him?
A little bit. I confused him with my mind powers, and I basically said it was one of my cousins that played a really cruel joke on me, that they're trying to play with my mind, and he just took it. It's like, he's like, your family's all fucked up. So I believe it, that one of your cousins did that. And then he's like, did they get in trouble? I'm like, yeah. But in my head I was like, hopefully that kid, after this, I told my mom, so like, when can we get a fence? how much do we need for a fucking fence? Because I want a fence. And we made it happen. But a kid could still climb that motherfucker. If I could climb the fence, when I would get out with Lenny, when Lenny would pick me up and they would close the gate on me, and if I could jump that shit, a fucking demon could jump that shit.
Dude, I literally got a Snapchat memory of you jumping over the fucking gate. That's so funny that you just said that. Well, I never really experienced any black-eyed kids, so I just kind of lived through you guys at this moment, and I hope I never get to fucking live through that, because fuck that shit. No thank you.
But think about it. What would, like, let's say like right now in this fucking moment, as we're fucking recording, we hear, and it's like, and then we go check, bitch, like, what's up?
I'll fucking fight a demon. Shit, I got 3 fucking swords in my closet. I'm ready to go.
I'll stay right here. Thank you very much.
Quasi Supernatural has trained us. Let's get this. I got some salt.
I'll be like, hold up, let me check. You don't have, so where we are, there's no light outside. The light is from the neighbors. But I'm gonna check the window because I ain't fucking playing that game. Because I played that game once. And let me tell you, if this was like real life and that motherfucker was outside, I swear to you, Toby's gonna faint. Or Lenny's gonna get like hyperventilating or some shit. Or she'll piss herself. Either one.
Nah, I'll just stay in shock. And then I'll be like, no fucking way. And just like, pretend it's fake and shit.
Probably crying and laughing. It's not fucking there, bitch. It's not fucking there. Well, yeah, because thinking about it, for the most part, they try to look like something defenseless. They always try to go younger, but I think when it was with me, since I'm technically like the age range of the demon black-eyed children, they're like, yeah, I think 12 years old is good for this bitch. She'll probably believe it because they probably, I swear that they know that I have sisters, and I would probably think like, oh, it's one of my friends. But guess what, demon? I know my little sister got no friends, bitch. I know my big sister only has 2 friends, like me, bitch. You could try to catch these, but we, in this household, in my household, we're all a bunch of loners, so we know we ain't got no friends, bitch. You can't catch me like that. You can't catch me like that. That's why they didn't win last time.
Dude, I just pictured you if you ever have kids and you're like trying to teach them about stranger danger. You're like, what do you say if a stranger comes up and tells you your mom, they're their mom's friend, and they're picking you up, and they just say you're lying because my mom doesn't have any friends.
Exactly. I'll be like, if I ever birth a spawn of Satan out of this pussy, the only thing they be learning is that your mama only got 2 friends. Well, actually 3. And that's it. That's all you got, baby. That's all you got. If they say they're your cousins, that's a lie too, because I don't even talk to half of my cousins. So that's another lie.
There's just that one cousin.
I got like 3 out of the 12 that were born from my 12 tias and tios. So you try to catch up. No one's catching me unhanded, bruh. No, this is why I'm training my body.
Because you're not the one.
Because I'm not the one. Like, they try me. That TikTok where they're hitting the kid. You hear, that's me. But, like, that's me slamming the door, bitch. I see the kid. I be like, look up. Because when I saw this motherfucker, it was still, the sun was still fucking out, bitch. Like, this motherfucker couldn't be like, I'm hiding in the darkness. No, bitch. It was light out. The lights were on, bitch. And I had my glasses on, bitch. So I had that 4K vision. I saw that shit in 4K and I said, no, bitch.
Ultra HD?
I wish. I think halfway through, like, my breathing, like, fogged up my glasses. Couldn't see where the fuck I was going. But yeah. So that's basically it. Lenny wants to leave. So this is me. Lenny's like, this is why you won't hear Lenny's voice in this episode. She's Mimi. She wants to go Mimi.
She's like, hurry the fuck up, we gotta go.
Gotta wrap it up. Let's go.
Chile chorro el way. So let's end this shit. So yes, this is how the podcast ends. So basically, now that you have come to us with this journey with me, my 2 bitches, Lenny and Toby, even though Lenny was just being a little cunty. She was over here writing I love dick on my fucking cup, drawing dick pictures and putting them next to my fucking face, bitch.
Make sure to like the picture on Instagram and zoom into it. It's art. It's art.
She only says it's art because she only eats pussy. So, like, that's what she thinks is art, I guess. Anyway, let's close this shit up. That I don't give a fuck. I gotta cancel myself faster. So, segue out of this stupid ass. Now, as we're leaving this podcast, thank you for joining us today in our Likely Not Dead podcast, where I survived the encounter with the black-eyed children. And as always, remember to follow us on our socials at Likely Not Dead on Twitter. You got it. On YouTube, I got it. On Reddit, yes, I got it. Also, we have a website at www.likelynotdeadpodcast.com where we have messages. You could like, comment, share, tell every fucking bitch in your house, like, listen to this shit and cancel us real quick. Thank you. We have a donation link for my bitches because they want to be funded. They want to go see the ghosties, but we ain't got no money. So follow us there. See you next time on our next episode, whenever it fucking is, because honestly we're pushing this out like we're giving birth. So till next time, make sure you don't talk to demons, don't whistle at night, and if you survive to see the next episode. We'll see you here, bitch. We'll see you here. Bye.
Yeah, so make sure to stay tuned till the next episode where we will be going over Martha's Chapel and Bowden Roll in Huntsville, Texas.
And I'll try to talk more in the next episode. I just didn't have anything to say on this one, so sorry, guys.
That was a lie. We'll see you next time.
Shut the fuck up.
And as always, this is our farewell. We'll see you next time. If you know me, you got me. If you know me, don't at me. Send me a message if you got to, but don't at me. Follow both. Well, Obito's, Toby's. Sorry, I knew the new character name. I have Naruto headsets. I'm ready with bitches. Anyway, so until next episode, see you there. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.